Hey guys, first of all, I want to say that we miss you, and we kind of miss the whole community in Cafe, but we're still excited that we're able to communicate in ways like this. So I'm gonna give it the best that I got, and I hope that you're encouraged. So first, I want to mention that a lot of us are struggling with fear and anxiety, and especially in a time like this. But the things that we can benefit from things like this is that our faith is exposed of what it's actually in. So, if your faith was in yourself or in your business or in your career or in your parents or anything like that, I think it's important for us to fill those areas where we now have fear with the right faith, with the proper faith in God. So, what's the Bible say about how we should handle fear? So, I want to first say that I think God's calling us as individuals to seek His presence more. I don't know if it only happens to me, but in times like when the lights go out, what's the first thing that we do is we start reaching out, because we can't depend on what we see. We start reaching out to things that we can feel, and our senses, all of our other senses, start getting exercised. And I think that in a time like this, that is dark, for a lot of us, we need to develop or exercise the senses of our heart to reach out to God's presence and to hear His voice. So we have a choice. You can let fear paralyze you, or you can exercise the senses of your heart to look for God in a time like this. And fear is a real thing. Fear is not always a lie to a lot of us. It is something that we truly experience, but fear essentially is an imagination of a reality or world without God, and that's torment. The only place in existence where the absence of God is felt is in hell. So in a way, when we experience fear, it's like we experience the atmosphere of hell itself, and God never intended that. So He's provided the truth for us to grasp onto with our faith. And faith isn't something blind. It actually gives us a wider view of things in life. I think that as believers, we're being called to go from faith to faith. And David understood this very well. He understood that to go from one mountain to another one, you have to cross a valley. And you can't do that otherwise. In Psalms 23, he wrote, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, and your rod and your staff, they comfort me." So what led him through the valley was God's presence. And what comforted him in a time like that was what God used to demonstrate His love and His power. And in times like this, we can be encouraged by God's presence. And we can remember and look back to the cross and how He demonstrated His power and His love for us. And maybe you're broken. Maybe you're like, man, I just can't. I'm completely hopeless. And it's okay. In times like those, God understands what situations and what circumstances that we're in. He understands that we're just human. And in times like those, He's a loving Father. He comes and looks for us, and He finds us where we're at. Take it from Daniel's friends. Whenever they were thrown into the furnace, it was in the fire where God's presence met them. And they never realized God's presence in such a way other than when they were in the fire. And I believe that God will show Himself in a greater way than we've ever realized in our life and in our heart. As we seek and live in the presence of God, we will make it known to the world that God is not only with us, but is for us. We, the church, are the voice of truth, the presence of hope, and the light in this time of darkness. God is saying to the church, fear not. And every time He said that, every time He said fear not, a promise followed after. And He says here in Isaiah 43, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by your name. You are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and the rivers will not overwhelm you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be scorched, and the flame will not burn you. For I am the Lord, your God, the Holy One of Israel, and your Savior." And that's in Isaiah 43. So I hope that you guys were encouraged, and we're here for you guys as a church, as a body. We work together, and we need each other in a time like this. And we love you, and God bless.